Looks good. Hey everybody, hey YouTube and live edu.tv. I'm streaming live on both sites. I realize I haven't made a video in probably 3 weeks. I think the last time I made one was Easter. I made that Steelers logo. I've been up to some other things. I can tell you about them later. I was walking in my kitchen and I found this. Can you see that? Yeah, this is hanging on my fridge. There's more information below here, but this is a birthday invitation that my brother-in-law made. We're invited to a birthday party, and this invitation was hanging out on the fridge. I kind of liked it. This was designed by my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law lives in Australia. His name is Ryan Service. He's the coolest and very talented. He designed this for a family birthday. This is his dribble, and this is his website. He makes cool stuff. Geneva College is where I went to school, where I went to college. This is a cool gun. Actually, he made this. This is my save the date for my wedding back in 2013, and this is his website. Like I said, he lives in Melbourne, so if you want cool stuff designed, I'm sure he would pick up your work. It is 4 a.m., I think, 5 a.m. at this point in Melbourne. Time in Australia. 5 a.m. So he doesn't know I'm making this. Ryan, I'm going to make this. I'll email you, talk to you about it later. But I'm going to make this in CSS and maybe animate it a little bit. So I took a picture and put it on my computer. This is what it looks like. It's kind of in my wheelhouse. I've made a couple things like this. I've made clouds before, I've made circles, made squares. So this should be pretty fun. I don't really know how I'm going to make all the circles in here yet. I could do like the linear gradients like I did in my previous clock video. I don't really know how I bend them though. But I think this would be a good challenge, so you can watch along. Alright, let's get started. I have an open pen here, and then I just took the color scheme of the picture, and this is what that is. I have it saved under my profile under balloon. Cool. YouTube and live coding. Any questions before we get started? Or any ideas on how I'd do this? No? Nothing. Okay, so here we go. I have a white, okay, yeah. This thing has just a white background, so I guess I'll keep it that way, and I'll just make that blue circle. So usually I call those containers. And a container, the classic, we'll just put it in the middle of the screen. I've been doing a little bit of Swift programming, iOS programming, and I'm used to things going clockwise in CSS, top, right, bottom, left, and I've noticed some of the Objective-C, Swift, Cocoa APIs, whatever you want to call them, go counterclockwise. It goes top, left, bottom, right. It threw me off for a while. So we're going clockwise in CSS world. I think that's it to center it. Okay. And I guess I'll just do this down here so I can keep this as all my absolutely positioned things. Cool, that gives me a blue square, and I'll make it a circle like so. Alright, I already did this previously to get the colors, and I'll use this color. Alright, does it look like this so far? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. A little light maybe, but that's okay. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is inside this container, inside this circle, I want to make the hot air balloon looking thing. So I guess I'll call that balloon. And balloons will also be absolutely positioned. Great. a balloon is also circle. So maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller than this container. Why is it not in the center? Position auto, or position absolute margin, 0, 0, 0, 0. What? Okay, I'll move it here. What am I missing? Position absolute margin auto, top, right, bottom, left. Rusty, you can tell I haven't made a video in 3 weeks. Why would that not be in the center? What? Oh, balloon. Huh. You gotta spell things right in CSS. Balloon. Is that how you spell balloon? Balloon. Yes, 2 L's, 2 O's. Okay, so I'll put that back in the container. That was a little odd. 2 L's, 2 O's. Okay, so that's in the center. Great. And I guess we'll move it up a little bit so it's not totally in the center. So I can go, I don't know, up 100 pixels. Yeah, that works. And it's not really pink. Well, actually, let's talk about this. So to make this, Felix22 from Live Edu says, hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Felix. How are you doing? Good question. If you just joined, I am making this thing. This is hanging on my fridge. This is an invitation to a birthday party. I'm making this in CSS. Really for no reason other than to try it. I've been illustrating CSS things quite a bit. You can find all of my CSS drawings on my CodePen or my YouTube or my live coding channel. But I make things in CSS. Yeah. Another fun thing, I think I'm going to animate this. I'll make it look like it's floating in the air like hot air balloons usually do. An idea is put a little like fire looking thing right here. I probably won't in this video, but it'd be kind of fun. Alright, so let's talk about this. How would I make this thing? So it's a circle, and then there's like these lines and stuff going through. I don't know, I get real fancy. So let me just open this up. This is a little easier to look at. I could do like an inset box shadow and just like put a bunch on top of each other. That sounds hard. There's a thing called like a radial gradient. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. This is a circle with a border of a purple thing. This is a circle, but it's a skinnier circle, and this is an even skinnier circle. So watch this. Okay, I got an idea here. So let's take this thing, and what is the background color? The one I want to start with is this dark pink. So this pale magenta pink color. We'll do that like that, and that should be dark purple. Okay, great. So, and then I also want to give it a border of like 10 pixels solid in that purple color. What's that purple color? Yeah, cool. I just want to make sure I can hear myself. Hold on. Oh, Joe Badger's on the YouTube channel. 2 different oval-sized shapes right on top of each other. Joe Badger is right. Absolutely. Sorry, I missed that before. Okay, so you can hear me. I don't have to check.
The badger is...
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's right. 2 oval-sized things on top of each other. That's what I'm going to do. So this is my circle, and I'm just going to place this guy on top of it. So, well, that'll be fun. We'll do it in a div. So this would just be after. And this will also be absolutely positioned. So I'll do this like this, and just because I know I'm gonna need another before. Okay, so this thing is the same height, so 300 pixels, but the width would be skinnier, maybe 150. And still get the border, and this color would just be different. I haven't seen you in a while either, Joe Badger. Have you made any cool videos lately? Joe Badger makes some sweet CSS videos as well. He's much more artistic than I am. He's on YouTube right now. Okay, oh, and I always forget this with my pseudo elements. Okay, so that's that, and then we'll go to border radius. Border radius 50%. Cool, and let's just get this pink. Yeah, that looks fairly decent. Maybe a little wider. Okay, and then one more. Oh, Joe Badger is a she. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, I would love to see your GIFs or whatever. Or videos or whatever you decide to make. I've watched I think all the ones you've made so far. If I haven't, I'll go and check after this video. But highly entertaining. Okay, so this is the same, and we'll just make this a little skinnier and take that as the color. Balloon before. Classic. Where to go? Oh, did I change? Yeah, change that. Green. Where is it? Balloon before. I spelled a balloon again. Nice. Let's start over. I got distracted, I was talking. Balloon before, 2 L's, 2 O's. And it gets a content, a height of 300, width of maybe 100, and a background color of green so I can see it. There it is. Oh, it has Z index. Right. So let me change this to before and this to be after. Just so they sit on top of each other. Great. And this can go get its purple color again, which is this, I guess, dark pink, rather. And we'll give it a border radius and a background color. Well, we'll just take this border. Great. Okay, so now I'm just going to play with the widths and the heights of these. That doesn't look too bad, actually. That kind of looks like a hot air balloon. Let's move it up a little bit. Yeah. All right. Next is these are like strings, and this is the basket. The strings, I can make a trapezoid shape, give it like a transparent middle, and then a border. Although I think I know when I make trapezoids in CSS, I have to mess with borders, so I don't really get like a width that I can set the color on. When you make a trapezoid, the width of the element is actually 0, and then you make super fat borders. So that, I don't think that'll work. Although I could try. Maybe I could just make like 2 string divs and just kind of rotate them a little bit, and then a basket. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's make the basket first. Oh, my dog's scratching. Hold on. My dog wanted to come in and program with us. Here she comes. Oh, Joe's making her own website. You should post it. I would love to look at it. Making websites from scratch is so fun. I could use box shadows. I could use box shadows. I'm gonna try. What would I box shadow on? Oh, you're right. I can make a trapezoid and then do box shadows. You're right. I see what you're saying. Let me think about that. Just so you know. So CSS shapes. Chris Core has a good one. You can tell I've been here before. And the trapezoid is, where is it? Yeah, it's just a bunch of borders, and the height is actually 0. So you're right, I could make this thing transparent and then do some shadows over here. Let's keep thinking about that. So, okay, my basket. This should be straightforward. It's just like a square or something. So my basket is like, I don't know, 100 pixels tall, and probably more than that, but we'll find out. Cool, and then I want to round these corners a little bit, so maybe like 4 pixels. Yeah, that looks nice. And actually, I think I said this is bigger, it's probably smaller. Yeah, it looks good enough. And then we'll bump it down. Looks too big. No, I think 85. We'll see how that goes. And that's this purple color. Or is it? Looks way too bright. Huh. Like super bright. That's what it says. I don't like it. Let's get it from here. It says it's the same color. What if we change all the purples to that color? What does that look like? That's really dark. Oops. No, I don't like it. Don't like it one bit. All right, that's how it's going to be. So that's that, and then this thing has like a rim or like an edge. We can do that with just another pseudo element. So basket before, and we will put this here so it'll be absolutely positioned. And this guy will have the same color. It's pretty skinny, maybe like this, but the width is the same. Actually, it's bigger than the other one, so maybe 75. Cool, sitting right on top of there, and I think I just move it over 5 pixels. Yeah, it looks about right, and we'll give it the same border radius. Nice. That looks good. Oh, so Joe Badger is talking about her coding experience and making a website. That's how I started, actually. I started making websites, and this drawing in CSS is something I don't know. So I think you and I are opposite. If you're interested, I would be happy to make videos on how to make websites from scratch. I feel like I've done that so many times. This is kind of new to me. But really any kind of coding, CSS or HTML, I think is fun. So if other people are interested in learning something else besides what I'm doing now, I'd be happy to show you. But good luck. That sounds really exciting, Joe. I hope learning and making it is a lot of fun, and I'm sure you'll make something cool. All right, so there's our basket. I think the easiest thing to do here is just make 2 elements here. Oops. Actually, I think I can do this. Yeah, cool. Okay, string left, string right. So I'm gonna make a string left, string right, and they'll be separate, and maybe I can animate them differently. I don't really know, because I think I do want this thing to like bob and sway in the wind. So string is also absolutely positioned. String, string, okay. And string is a thing that has a height of like 50 pixels and a width of like 10 pixels. I don't think I have to set the border radius because it'll get hidden. The color is the same color as the basket. And that's right there. Great. So I'll move it down like that. Yep, and move it over a little bit. Cool, and then turn it. So let's transform, rotate. I don't know, 20 degrees? That looks good. Maybe I'll move it over just a little bit. Cool. So that's a string. Actually, why don't I do this? But the string right will have this, and then the string left will have -20, like so. And we'll move that over -60. Ha, that was easy. I think that was it. I thought that was going to be way harder than it was. I guess we can move the basket a little further down. This picture has it. Why not? Let's do it. So the basket would have maybe like 310. Yeah, that looks fine. Cool. I could add the sun. We could do that. And then 3 clouds. Yeah, I think that'll make this picture. All right. Cool. Joe Badger, is there anything specific you'd like to learn or anything that you're hung up on? There's a lot in making websites. Sometimes I just find cool ones that I like and copy them. Sometimes I have other ideas in my head and I try to do them. But it's always hard to pin down what specifically people are interested in because there's so much. Personally, I like making things from scratch, but other people like learning things like CSS Bootstrap and stuff. I'm sure you have your own interests, but I'd be curious to hear what you're interested in learning. Okay, so I'll make a sun next. That'll be real easy. We all know how to make suns, right? You give it a height and a width and a border radius 50%. What'd I do? Where'd my thing go? Where'd all my code go? Sun. What happened? Okay. Sun. There we go. Okay. So sun has a height of, I don't know, 100 and a width of 100 and a background color of yellow. Probably not this yellow, but a yellow. And a border, border radius 50% to make it a circle. And we will move that down a little bit. And we'll move it way left. Like 300 pixels. Even more. Yeah. Felix22 on Live Coding TV asked, am I using Canvas? I am not using Canvas. Canvas is a HTML5 element where you can draw like lines and shapes. I'm not. I'm just using straight, normal HTML. I am using some HTML5 CSS properties, but I'm not using Canvas itself. If I remember correctly, you have a Canvas element, which is HTML, but you draw on Canvas using JavaScript. I could be wrong. I'm going to Google that. Drawing on Canvas HTML5. Yeah, you have this HTML Canvas element, and then you draw graphics using JavaScript. Yeah, that's how Canvas works. I've played with it a little bit. Games do that. HTML5 games use the Canvas. But you can tell here, or you can see here, I'm not using any JavaScript at all. So I'm not using Canvas. All right. And we'll use this yellow for the sun. It's beautiful. All right. I kind of like this. I kind of like this simplicity. Maybe I'll add clouds later. I don't really know. The next thing I think I want to do is make this bob. So that's the fun part about making these things in... I lost my mouse. Making these things in CSS is you can animate them. So that's what I'd like to do. All right. So what do I want to do here? I want to make some animations. And I guess at first, I just want this thing to like move up and down. Joe Badger says, things are confusing about inline block, inline. Okay, yeah, awesome. That's very normal to be confused about those things. Dev tips CSS inline block. A guy that works at Google makes these really cool videos. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, Dev Tips, this guy. I don't remember his name, unfortunately, but he makes some fantastic videos. And he has one all about just that, where he draws on his head. Yeah, this is a very famous video. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, but this helped me a lot understand block, inline, and what's the other one? Display table or display table cell. I probably couldn't make as good a video as this guy. He's also much more interesting than I am if he draws on his face. But I'd encourage you to check this one out. Almost all my videos, we just use block elements. By default, divs are display block. And so those are all my elements that I use by default. But knowing that a div displays block is not obvious. It's just something you have to know, you have to learn. Things that are inline block are like spans. And that's all I'll go for. Maybe I have to watch the video too. But it's the idea of, does a thing display like this and then below it, or do things display on its sides, etc. That's what that is. And then there's new things. I'm sure you'll read about CSS Grid and Flexbox. Those just blow all those rules out of the water. So I don't envy you learning all those things, but I think it's a lot of fun to understand it. Okay, where was I? Animating this thing up and down. So I think just to move up and down, I can say transform translate Y. Is that right? This doesn't look right, but let's see what happens here. I want to move it up and down. So if I translate on the Y-axis up and down, let's see what happens here. So on my balloon, I want to add this animation float 1 second infinite. Does it do anything? Of course not. Oh, it does. Wow, I got that right. Oh my gosh, amazing. So I will add those to my basket and my strings. Right. If I'm translating the Y's, wait, why would that happen? Oh, because I'm overriding the transform. Lame. Okay, so I'll take that off of this for now. I need a float strings. One as well. Okay, so that's not exactly what I want. I'm just gonna hide the strings for now because they're gonna bother me. Maybe I'll make this like 2 seconds. Okay, and then I think ease in out. I'm trying to think of like if this was floating in the air, it'd probably be all nice. Yeah, that's what I want. Ease in, out. I got too much code here. Let's copy this. I want my basket. Where's my basket? There it is. Okay, that's kind of nice. And then I think, I don't know. I feel like these things like sway back and forth. Like the wind's blowing and these things move. So I can give it another transform property, which would be like rotate. Transform, rotate 3 degrees. Why did that break? Rotate. Transform or rotate. Do these not take commas? I don't understand. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I think that kind of feels right. Just like ever so slightly. Okay, so let's add the strings back in. And I probably can just move the strings up and down. If the wind's blowing, the strings won't move too much. They probably will, actually. But let's try this. But I can't just put my float animation on this because that'll override my transforms, because I need these transforms here to have the rotate. So all I have to do is I'll just call this like animation, I don't know, float strings. 2 seconds, ease, in, out, infinite. Okay. And this will be the same thing, but I think, gosh, I could probably just change the top instead. What is the top on these things? 60. Okay. Which would mean this is, I will go up -15, so 45. Float strings, keyframe, float strings. Float, I need an R. Nope, that didn't work. My top, oh, 200. And 185. I kind of like it. I wonder if it should walk back and forth. I don't really know. It looks like the wind is coming like right here. Just a little bit. It's kind of neat. What am I missing? Anything? Either on live coding or YouTube? Joe Badger says, can I animate the container instead? Oh, I missed that. Sorry. I think I could have. No, I probably couldn't have because of that transform problem. I guess I could have made the whole thing go up and then rotate. No, I couldn't because, yeah, the way I laid out these strings. Maybe if I would have listened to your box shadow, I probably could have done the whole thing that way, but I have 2 keyframes instead. Should this move? Not really. This is just kind of a loop in a second. I'm going to add 1 cloud here. I'll fill it out. We'll see if I like it. If I don't like it, I'm just going to turn it off. Oops, cloud. The fun thing about drawing in CSS and not in Paint, like real paint, is erasing is easy. Just delete it. Okay. So these clouds are typical clouds. They have a little bit of skew. Maybe I could try to match that. Okay, clouds are white. And yeah, it'll just like sit off the top here, or sit off the right here, rather. So go way down. Maybe not that much. Why did I add the sun in the cloud? Why did you add the cloud to the sun div? Oh, it's not. It's right below it. The sun ends and the cloud is here. The way I think of these is like these are all like specific nouns on the screen. So I have a balloon, I have two strings, I have a basket, I have a sun and a cloud. But they're all separate. And then they're all enclosed in the container. And we'll move that way over in the CSS. Oh, I just added it below the sun. It's still outside. Why did you add the cloud to the sun div to have in the same level? No, they're separate. Is that what you mean? So that's off there, and then I guess I can like make another one up here. So we'll make a cloud after and same deal. I like this interaction. I appreciate it, Joe. Keep them coming. This thing will also be white, but this time the height will be bigger than the width or something. I just kind of want to make a little like blob up here, another poof, if you will. I always forget, on the pseudo elements they need a content. And that should show up somewhere. There it is, okay. And we'll move it up. Move it up. Yeah, cool. And then I think I want to add, well, if I just make this a little wider, and then move it over just a little bit. That's actually a nice cloud. I kind of like it. Maybe just a little more. So that's one cloud. Now I need more. Maybe 2 and 3. What do we got here? His clouds are big, mine are small. I think I can keep it that way. So this would be cloud 1. Oh, this is going to make a bunch more code for me. But that's okay. So, because I want to position these all separate. Well, what is common? Just these two things. Okay, so bummer. So this is just cloud with a C1. And this is just cloud with a C1. And things that are common to just cloud are this and this. Okay. I almost want to call this like bottom left. Or that's bottom right, rather. Top right. And I'll make another like top bottom left. This is all freaking out because it thinks my clouds are huge. So we can fix that. Instead of C1, that's not a very good name. We'll make this bottom right. Same here. That should fix it, hopefully. Oh, right. That should fix it. There you go. Okay, so same deal. Cloud, but this one's top right. I wonder if this can all stay the same. I'll put this in now. Oops. And then we'll just move it up. So that goes up there. This is getting tedious, but that's okay. Cool, and I'll move it over a little bit. And we'll add a pseudo element, which actually could probably be the exact same. Cool, and we'll add one more. So this is the bottom left. Same deal. But this, we will move it over and this down. Where should we put this? Below the sun? I guess so. This one's like on top of the sun. That's pretty cool. All right, I'll do that. So we'll move it down just a little bit. The sun is like shining in my eyes. Can you see that? And we'll move it, keep going that way. Cool. And this one will have two little bubbles, it looks like. 1, 2. Okay. So this will get a before and after. Before I forget, this takes content. Look at that. I remember this time. And I'll take these guys. Should it hang out right there? No. Bottom left. Where's it at? We'll make it green so I can find it. Oh, it's a pseudo element, so we gotta get the z index to show up. 2. Still nothing. Where is it? Cloud, bottom left. Where to go? Oh. It needs to be absolute position, so I should see a green thing somewhere. There it is. Great. So it's that. We'll move it to the left a little bit. Cool. Maybe up a little bit. And we'll get another one to go. Boop. Okay. Just take the whole thing. Joe asks about the big list at the top of my file. Yeah, that is... so everything I do, this is a thing about CSS drawing. Everything I do pretty much requires me to have absolutely positioned elements, which you don't usually do in web design. It's really silly. Or sorry, in web page design, it's really silly to absolutely position something in a particular part of the screen. Usually because, unless you're centering it or something, usually because you want things to kind of squish or to flow based on the screen size. That's how HTML kind of was intended to do, is just to flow with the document. So everything I do pretty much has basically every element or every div that I make is absolutely positioned. So I just keep a big list of all my elements and I apply the same styles to each of them. This is so I don't have to type all this for every element. In previous videos you probably did see me write this for every element, but I do this instead. So I just list all the elements that I need absolutely positioned, meaning I have full control over the pixels, left, right, top, bottom, and I just put them here. There's fancy things you can do with Sass and stuff and make like mix-in, and so I don't type this all, but I like being in just CSS, so I keep it like this. But this is just a shortcut, so I don't have to absolutely position by hand every time. Okay, so this cloud is almost done. I kind of want this guy to be a little wider so it moves over the sun. Uh-oh. Yeah, and then I'm going to move it down a little bit. Maybe I don't want it so wide. Cool. I think that's it. Complaints, comments, suggestions? Otherwise, this one is in the books. I got a little sidetracked there. I got a little quiet there. I was just kind of positioning clouds in my head. But this is pretty good, I think. It moves and shakes. Oh, you're welcome, Joe. As always, send me an email or comment on the video or comment on live streaming or whatever to give me more inspiration or encouragement to do another one. This was on my fridge, like I said, and that's why I decided to do this one. But if you have any ideas or things that you want to draw in CSS, please let me know. Oh, I do want to maybe brag on myself a little bit. I did a funny face drawing that I really liked. I didn't live stream it because I didn't think anyone would get it. I just did this face the other day. Oh, nope, this isn't it. Somebody asked me to do some guy. Which one is it? Must be this one. Oh yeah, a sleeping dude. This is a guy I know. But as I said, like, people give me suggestions and I do it. I think it's kind of fun. But I enjoy doing this one. So any comments, critiques, or suggestions, I would be happy to do. Well, thanks very much. Until next time, have a very good weekend. Oh, I just restarted the stream. One more shout out. Thanks again to Ryan Service for actually designing this thing. I take no credit for this. I'll put Ryan's links in below in the show notes, or whatever these are called, the YouTube channel notes. But he designed this and he did a really good job, and I'm sure he'd like to do a good job for whatever designs that you have as well. Thank you. Goodbye.